Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team, making the watch list video for tomorrow, Thursday, August 24th. Going to go up here, we'll type in the SPX, take a look at the S&P. You'll see right here, the 13 and the 50 are pinching, 13 EMA and the 50 SMA. So obviously the market is in a bit of indecision mode, but it's creating lower highs. So, you have some support down here. You got the resistance right up here at the 13 and the 50. You're going to want to see if the market's going to turn and go bullish. You'll want the 13 to separate and go back up, and price to get above the 13, and obviously, go up from there. So, you have a doji indecision candle there on the daily. So let's go over and do the watch list for tomorrow. I actually just I'm always tweaking this. But, I don't trade stocks over $10 usually. So I'm keeping mine under $10. If you want to do yours over 10, you can. When there's, not as many plays, like if there's only like 15 or 20 on the day, then I'll kind of increase it to give more plays to look at. But as you'll see, there's quite a bit on here for today for just up to $10. I also put it down stocks for 30 cents instead of just the base of $1, because I want to catch stocks that are breaking out above $1. So those are potentially some really good opportunities as well. So I kind of tweaked my watch list there. So, stocks that have been under $1 for several months or a year, when they go and break out, usually they can break out big time. So that's why you want to catch them before they break out over $1. So let's take a look in for tomorrow. I put IMMU on here. I'm not sure if it's on this list here. We'll check in a little bit, but you'll see it's at its yearly highs. Had a little bit kind of, opened lower today, and then it went right back up. So it actually went, as you'll see, it went red and then to green. So stocks that go red to green, that's a great setup to look for. So you'll see it went below yesterday's previous close, right down here, went above. So you'll see it did it twice. It spiked down, went above for this little false breakout, and you'll see it went 47 up to not even 54. Only a 7-cent breakout, and then smacked right back down, formed a double bottom, and then it kind of turned, reversed back up, and then you'll see it went and had a breakout, and it had a good rest of the day. So you want to watch these red to green plays and also green to red if you're shorting. It's very important to look at the patterns within the patterns, and then just watch the moving averages and price action. So IMMU will be on the watch list tomorrow to see if it's going to break 981 or if it's going to fall back down, maybe even to, right around this $9, $9.10, $9, kind of this range here, kind of within these two candlesticks. So IMMU will go on the watch list. Let's take a look at IMNP. So you'll see this one's been in a downtrend, kind of is broken out here. You'll see that there's some overhead resistance at the 200 SMA at basically 308. And you're going to want to see if price can get over this 263 marker. So this had a big jump, so you want to see obviously if it's going to go and turn and go and break above, or if it's going to fade. So this one will go on the watch list. It's one that I would look at, myself to potentially play either way. You want to see again, if it's going to also break. Is it going to stay right at the 50 SMA, or is it going to break above? And you'll see right that 50 SMA is at 230, which is right above it now. So now it's actually technically fading below it right now. So those moving average lines are really important to watch out for. So you want to watch, you know, support and resistance with candlesticks, support and resistance with the moving average lines, and also look at the patterns on the daily, and then also within the intraday when a stock is moving. But obviously you want to look at the patterns overall on the daily to see whether that stock's going to potentially be bullish or bearish. So as we look at some of these stocks, I'm going to start mapping out some more patterns potentially when you see them. You know, rather than just show just moving average lines, maybe I'll make the videos moving forward a little bit longer and start showing some patterns and things to look for. So like noticeable ones. So right now, obviously, this is just basically in a downtrend and then it's breaking out. So, you know, you can kind of say this might be somewhat of a U bottom, you know, kind of breaking out. You can see that it broke out right here above the 231, but then it kind of smacked back down. So now it's either going to go back up or it might form like maybe a potential cup and handle. So that's something to take a look at. So IMNP will go on the watch list. WRIT. So this one's kind of choppy. I don't really, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'm not going to put that one on the watch list. SQNS. So this one, and basically filled the gap today, right there around that 350. And now you want to see if it's going to go and break above this 358 marker. And then you're going to want to see if it's going to break 390. And now support is changed a little bit. Kind of think of like support really in here at the top of this U bottom. See if it's going to break below that 328. So it's kind of like the range here. See if it's going to fall up here, if it's going to break the 352, and then you got the $4. So it's no accident that these are all, except for the matter of this one right here, really at half and whole dollar amounts for resistance areas. So we can put SQNS on the watch list. Over here. Let's take a look at BSTG. And let's see here. Some resistance at that 13, at the 50. Don't really love that one. EXPR, I believe that's Express. Let's see here. So you want to see if price will get over the 680. What's the high of the day here today? Pretty much that 685 marker. And then see if it's going to go up to fill the gap potentially. So you want to see these areas here. So Express, it kind of traded sideways. See, I don't know if I like, do I like, let me see. Let's see, 681, 727. It could potentially move. Not really loving that one though. LOV. So this one right here, couple crazy doji or crazy long hanging candlesticks. Not a huge fan of that one. NM. So this one right here, no accident that basically right at the 200 SMA, right there, it kind of hit, and it's right at the 200 SMA. So you're going to want to see if this is going to break $1.52, or if it's going to fall back down to this area of 140. So see if there's a breakout. So we will keep an eye on NM. MGTI. Let's see with this one. 254. So you'll see, you know, flag. You'll see a flag here, and now you're going to want to see, is it going to break above this 254 area, or is it going to fall back down? So, you know, maybe right on this 205 area, right above the 13 EMA. So the 13 EMA is such a very good equilibrium trend line. I have it on my daily. I also have it on my 3-minute chart. Actually, this should be my 3-minute one right now. I'm not sure why I have it on the 5. You could do 3 or 5-minute. Let me put it to the 5 or to the 3. So I have the 13 on my 3 and the 5. I have my 9 and the 20 on the 1-minute. But basically on my daily and on my 3 or 5-minute, depending on whatever one I'm using, I have the 13 EMA because it's just a very great equilibrium, you know, price when it's, you know, so too far away above or below the 13 EMA. It naturally wants to gravitate back to it. Obviously, you don't necessarily know on the timing of it, but that's where you're, you know, when you're intraday trading, that's when you watch candlestick, support, resistance, and level 2 and stuff. But you'll see when it gets very far away from the 13 EMA, it naturally wants to snap back down to it, you know. So that's where, as you can see, it's outside the Bollinger Bands right there. Gives you a nice visual of the snapping back. Let's take a look at, did I look at MGTI already? Yeah, I think I did that one. Yeah, so I will put MGTI on the watch list to see if that's a potential breakout. That is bull flagging. So right here, bull flag, one right up here, but it's a little bit of a breakout right at that $0.50 amount, which is a crucial area. So if it can break above that 250, you know, then it could potentially go up a little bit further. So, you know, I will definitely put MGTI on the watch list. I'm going to put it also on my other focused watch list right now. As you can see, if you've seen my other videos I've been making, I kind of have ones that I kind of target in the morning. You know, some that I might look at from the previous night, and then I might change them in the morning depending what's happening with trade ideas or, you know, with the pre-market. All right, so RADA. This one right here, you can see, I mean, that's a nice long flagpole. Is this going to go and break above the 320? Or is it going to want to pull back down part of the way before it goes back up again and create another flag? So that's really what you want to look at. Is now you'll see support is really right around that 285 marker. Could be halfway down as well, too, right at the $3 marker with whole and $0.50 amounts. So you want to see this 320. Here's some support right down there at 286, and then see what happens really at $3. So that's really what you got to look at, the whole $0.50 amounts, moving averages, candlesticks, and the patterns. And the more you do this, the more you start seeing these things coming to play in real time. XCO, this is just pretty much really in the downtrend. Don't really love it. Now it could be, see that? It just quietly broke over $1. Now it's been heading down, and you'll see right here a little bit, those little candlesticks breaking above $1. I don't love it, not a ton of volume, but you know, you can see right here there's some resistance there at, what is that, 223. SCYX, kind of pretty much traded sideways, trying to see if there's a pattern that really jumps out at me. You want to see it break 205. That's really what you want to see. Let me see here. Yeah, if it could break above this 205 marker and go up and fill the gap, that's definitely something to keep an eye on, because that would be a nice breakout if it does. There was an indecision candle here today, so you're going to obviously keep an eye on this, but it just kind of pretty much traded sideways today. So I'm not going to put this one on the watch list. CYTR. Let's see here. So you have some, look at these. See that? spike, 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 right over, and it's, look at this, it still hasn't broken that dollar marker. Now this is just going to be one to really watch for when this breaks above $1. That'll be an amazing one to watch when it does. Look at how close it's come to doing it 3 times, and it hasn't happened. So that's definitely a crazy one to watch. So I'm actually going to create an alert to alert myself next time this one gets to, maybe just say even 90, 0.90. to keep an eye on this. So next time it broaches this, it may want to go and break above $1, and that thing could absolutely fly. Who knows when or if that's going to happen, though. So, yeah, I'm not really liking this one right now. Nothing's really jumping out at me right now until it gets some news. But that thing's unbelievable to take a look at for patterns, that's for sure. ABEO. So you want to see if it can break that 903 marker. Again, whole dollar amount. Not an accident why that's doing that. And so if it can break basically that $9 marker, which it's hovering around, it could have a nice breakout. You could even say that's really potentially inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. There's the base looking for that break above $9. That could be a nice one if it does break. Did have some volume. Not a ton today, but did have some. So this is one to definitely keep an eye on. I'm actually going to highlight that and make it red so it pops out at me a little bit more as something that's a very important one to look at, because if that thing goes and breaks above, that's a huge pattern. That could be a nice breakout. So ABEO. Oops. AKG. Some resistance at the 128. Potentially, if that does go and break above the 130, that could be a U-bottom breakout potentially. So let's see here. So you want to see if it could break above the 130. Then really in that you could even say 150 range, kind of let's see. I'm going to remove this. What the heck is going on here? Let me just do this. I think I had some old drawings on this one. So, yeah, I mean, this is one you want to see again. If it could break above the 130 marker and then get ideally above this. Yeah, I guess you'd say pretty much this range is 150, 160 range to see if it'll turn around. Not sure if I really love that one, though. It's kind of choppy. Not going to put it on. NPTN. This one held its highs. Definitely had some volume. Let's see where that one is at. 615. So now, let me just clear the drawings. You want to see if this one can break the 13 EMA. And then, this could potentially move up. So NPTN is definitely one to keep an eye on. CRME. Let's see here. So you have a potential, so this one's been falling, potential reversal candle for a potential reversal on the daily. So this is one you want to see. Is it going to go and break that 240 range, which would be high a day here? And then, this one could have some potential to move. Obviously, once it gets up in these candlesticks, you got to keep an eye on support and resistance, but you want to see if it'll turn and break that 240-ish range, but ideally pretty much over 250. You want to see it get over the 250 marker. But am I going to put this one on? Nah, I'm not a huge fan of this one, but that's what to look for. ITEK. So this is one that's been, let's see here. Look at that, slowly climbing. Oh, did that just break $1 today? Oh, this might be one to watch and going up to fill that gap. Wow, this one could be a potential gap fill. Look at that, how it just sneaks up on you. Yeah, look at that. So this is one, let me just mark that out up here. So tomorrow you want to see if it can break the 110, then can it get over that 50 SMA and then go up into the gap. So this one, you know, could have a decent run up into the gap at 167. I don't normally like these really crazy choppy candle ones, but it's one to definitely keep an eye on for the patterns. Could be a nice gap fill, so I will put that on the watch list. ITEK. SMRT. Let's see here. Not really loving this one. Not a ton of IM. Not going to put on XXII. So this one, let me see here. Might be potentially reversing going around. You're going to want to see if it's going to, I mean, it's been going up. So you have a wedge broke out here, kind of came down. It's been fading. You want to see if it can break above the 230 range. It might be one to potentially watch. I'll put it on the watch list. At least there's action happening when there actually is something going on with that stock. EROS. So you want to see it break above. Let's see here. See if you can really break above that 841 marker and potentially turn around. Did have not a ton of volume. Not really liking it. HOS. So this is one to watch for a break above $3. It's not there right now. So you want to see here. That's some definitely, that would be definitely a breakout if it does that. That's why I have a mark. I'm going to actually replace it. I'm going to put it a little bit lower to let me know. SSW. So this is broaching a little bit over the 200 SMA. See if it can, it might be breaking out right now. This one might be one to watch. Let me take a look here. Let's see. If it could break above today, might have a move up to that. Could be going up to fill the gap potentially. There's a little gap right there. So that's one to definitely keep an eye on. See if it can break above that 778 marker and see what happens from there. So SSW will go on the watch list. Wow, that'd be a nice one if that could do it. You can almost say that's a big inverse head and shoulders. Big left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If it can go and break that, I'm going to put an alert right at that, right here, to alert me. CVRS. See if it can break above that 175 marker. Nah, not really liking that one. IOTS. So this one right here. You're going to see if it can break the 695 marker, the high of the day today, which would also be the yearly high. Then you have some support really in that 650, 640s range right in here. So not a ton of volume, but it's one to keep an eye on. You'll see kind of like a bull flag, bull flag. Is it going to go up and break above 7 or come back down? It's definitely one to keep an eye on. IOTS. DXTR. Don't like it. But see if it goes up and breaks that 40. and to fill the gap. Don't really like it. FENG. Let's see here. So you want to see if it's going to go and break the 525, really that high a day, or if it's going to come back down. You'll see it's kind of basically bull flag, kind of like a wedge or a, yeah, kind of like a wedge area here, and you'll see it kind of came down, broke out here. Now, you know, kind of see what the stock's going to do. Is it going to go up and break 525 or come back down again? So FANG, I'll put that on the watch list. MNGA, don't like it. UIS, don't like it. MACK, no. RGLS, no. ROX, no. CLD, don't like it. So some of these could hold their highs and have some volume, but they have some overhead resistance. That's why I don't really put it on the watch list at times. WLL. This one's still kind of fading. Overhead resistance. Don't like it. WLB. Don't like it. ARRY. It's these marijuana stocks. Let's see here. Could be breaking. Let's see, is there a gap? So this is one to potentially watch, but you got to see it break above, right above that whole dollar amount, 1004 or $10 today. Look at that. No coincidence. Happened for a reason. So see if it can break above the $10. Not going to put it on the watch list, but that's what to look for. HUSA, too choppy. SDLP. Don't like it. But you have a nice U-bottom forming here. You want to see if it can go and break above that. WIN. No. OCLR. Held its highs. Has some volume. Got the overhead resistance. You want to see it clear that. ZN. That's one of those 5-cent stocks I just don't like. CLF. Let's take a look at this one here. So I want to see if CLF can really break this. Really, right at that 2, and see, again, no coincidence that the breakout would be right at that whole dollar amount, which is right at the 200 SMA. So I'd want to see this thing break out. You put a alert there. So you can see if this thing goes and breaks out, that'd be a nice breakout. And it's right at that whole $8 amount that it's got to get over. So I will put it on the watch list. Just that's a really slow mover. I'm not going to put it on the watch list just because it's such a slow mover. But it's one I'll have an alert on if it does break at some point. And ANF, I believe that's Abercrombie and Fitch, or I think so, yep. Don't really like it. Let's take a look at maybe a couple of the new highs. Not sure. Some of these may have already been on the watch list. RADA, IOTS, FANG, FCAU, Use SNZY. Let's see, it's had that U bottom. Really hasn't broken out much. GSM, BLFS. Let's take a look at this one. So that broke out over here, kind of wedging, like a wedge here, kind of broke up. So we want to see if it can break that 510 marker. Or is it going to fall down to that? You know, so this is, not really loving that one right now. TRMR. See here, move the drawing. See if we can break that 316 marker. Well, see, this one right here might be an interesting one to watch because at 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 green days. Let's see here. Not a huge area to totally pull back, but it could go down a little bit. TRMR might be one to potentially watch as a reversal to fall back down, on a pullback for a short. So I'll put that one as one to watch. IAG, that's a little bit, these ones are really high float. I don't like super high floats. They take forever to move. Yeah, GLUU, Doji, 3 green days, and a Doji, that could be a potential short. So we're at that 350 marker. It's a 317. Not a huge pullback, so I mean that's one to kind of look at, to see if it's going to break above. Now, if it breaks above that 350 mark, that could be a good one to potentially watch. So that, again, this is on my new highs. Didn't show up on the watch list, but this one might be one to watch to see if it breaks above that 348 marker. And I'll put an alert. And I'll put that on the watch list. That might be, again, a good sign for a reversal to pull back, but you just got to keep an eye on it. So that is the watch list for tomorrow. Again, sorry it's taking a little bit longer, but I figured I'll try and make it where I show you guys more areas of support and resistance, showing you with patterns as well and what to look for. So kind of just show you more of the kind of a little bit more targeted. So the watch list might be a little bit longer moving forward, but it kind of gives you more of what to look for. So again, if you haven't liked our fan page yet, make sure you like and follow our fan page here. We are the Bullish Bears over on Facebook if you haven't already done that. We post our updates over there as well as our morning watch list for trade ideas, pre-market movers by 9 a.m. So make sure you like and follow this so you get the notification. Also, head over to our website, bullishbears.com. Make sure you subscribe to our email list to receive our watch list, the one that we're making now, as well as our options, trade ideas options movers at night. We do send that out by email. If you haven't joined our trade room, you can join over here. We're getting close to 500 members in our free trade room that we offer to our community. Most trade rooms, they're at least $100 on up per month, and we're providing ours for free to our community. So make sure you take advantage of that, as well as we have a couple $1,000s worth of courses over here of a stock course, a day trading course, an options trading course, how to set up ThinkorSwim. This is free content that we're basically saving all of our members, up to a couple $1,000. If you're paying courses elsewhere, we're providing it for free to our community. And, speaking of which, we ideally would like to stay a community that where we can offer everything for free to our community. Tim, Dan, and myself have a vision of really building a huge trading company where we're basically just donation based. We survive off of the donations monthly of the community members. So instead of making you pay $150 or $200 or $300 a month for a membership, we allow the community to basically choose what they can afford and just give back what they can afford. The more money they make, if they want to donate more, great. But if they're on a learning curve and they're not, on a small budget and they're just trying to learn, we do have, monthly contributions for as low as $10 to $25 a month to make it really affordable for everybody. We're just looking for a lot of people to give a little bit, so it just helps free up Tim, Dan, and myself to continuously give back more to the community. But we do survive. Oh, I just hit my headset off my head. We do survive off of the monthly contributions of our community members. So if you would like to contribute, you can do that over here. Here's our monthly options, and then we have one-time donations down over there, as well as our merchandise store. If you haven't been over there yet, we have some great apparel. We have our Bullish Bear with our Hope is Real gear. We have a ladies, men's, kids store with hats and hoodies and mugs and gifts. So we have some fantastic apparel if you'd like to purchase some apparel as well. And last but not least, our YouTube channel is absolutely just exploding lately. It's going like wildfire. We just broke 5,000 YouTube subscribers, which is incredible. And we're growing at a rate of, I don't even know, 50 or 100 people a day right now. It's just absolutely absurd. So make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Take advantage of all of the content that we offer. Look at all the videos of everything that we provide for free to our community. So again, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment on them, share them. We'll do our best to be very interactive and answer any questions that you have. So hopefully this video helped you, and happy trading tomorrow. Enjoy.